Hello everyone and welcome to my first video now officially as part of the MTGO creator program. I'm so proud, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very proud finally being able to be part of the program. This allows me to make a lot more content. I'm sure you've noticed already that I've been putting out much more content. I'm just gonna be throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks. I even made a vintage cube video recently. I'm gonna be playing a lot more content. I'm going to be creating a lot more content. So of course I'm not going to quit playing Infect. I just wanted to put that out there. I got some question about that. No, I'm still going to be playing Infect. Of course, I love the deck, but I will be playing a lot of stuff. I've noticed that a lot of people really have been giving me feedback and they love the way how I explain things and how I go through the motions, so I will keep doing that also for other decks, but let's go to Infect for a while now. So what I've been wanting to do is I've been wanting to go back to black-green Infect for a while now. And the main reason for this is that it feels like, to me, this is the correct method to do so. I always switch between Infect builds depending on how I think which is the best one going to be in the meta. And if I just pop over the meta right now, if you watch at Goldfish, this is currently the modern meta. And just look at the top decks. We have Boros, we have Mardu, we have Jeskai Control, we have Ruby Storm, Through the Breach. Currently, like the top 3 decks are all white-red based removal spell decks. You know what that means? It's time to be playing Phyrexian Crusader again. If you resolve it, you just win the game. Storm and Through the Breach are combo decks, which has always been good for Infect specifically. So these top 5 decks here are all decks that I would want to be playing against if I was playing black-green. Now, that being said, I haven't played black-green for a while now, so I actually just looked online, see if I found some decks that are playing black-green, and I found a list here by Ragnar Boy, who actually qualified or top 8 in RCQ playing this list. So I'm just playing his list. I would personally have made some changes, but I decided to not do that this time. I'm just going to run this exact list because, I mean, they top 8'd, so it has to be good, right? And there are some cards in here that I would want to try out for when I was going to be building my own deck. And one of these is Overprotect. This is a cool one. So it's let me pop it over here so you can see it on screen better. So it costs 2, one of which being a green. And it says target creature you control has +3/+3, trample, hexproof, and indestructible. Very flexible. This card would be insane if it was only 1 green mana. Now it costs 2. The fact that it costs 2 is painful, but I think it could just be good enough. It also gives trample, etc. So there's a lot of stuff here. Then what else do we have? We have 1 Tainted Strike. I like this because it can give you like a weird win condition if you only have Ignobles or Venerated Rot Priests. Giving something Infect out of nowhere is always powerful. And then the rest is pretty stock. Let me just put it like that. We have Mutagenic Growths, we have Scale Ups, we have Might. Interesting to note is that when I was playing black-green, I always played Fatal Pushes, Thought Seizes. No cards like those in the main, not even the sideboard. We'll go to the sideboard in a second because very interesting choices there. They just want to get him dead as soon as possible. Also playing Blossoming Defenses, Vines of Vastwood, and then the lands. Look at these cool lands that I can play now because I have access to all the cards. We have a beautiful Inkmoth Nexus, beautiful Misty Rainforest, the Nurturing Peat lands. I'm a sucker for full art lands. I don't care about foils, but full art is just my thing. Look at this Plague Stinger, dude. It's beautiful. Anyway, so we're just gonna try and get him dead. It's that easy. I've cut Glistener Elf from Infect a very long time ago, and I think that seems to be where most other people are going towards as well. Instead, you just play Venerated Rot Priests, and what you do is you stick Glistener Elf in the sideboard for when you want them, like against combo decks. Against fair decks, you really don't want them unless it's control. And this is what they did as well. Now let's dive into the sideboard, because I would personally play a lot of different cards, but as I said, haven't tested this, so let's just try it out. Glistener Elf is pretty stock. We have Veiled Summers, that's pretty stock. Endurance, Force of Vigor, those are the stock cards. Dismembers, I can see the working or playing those. Then card that I really like is Terra Sunder. It can get rid of an artifact or enchantment, exiles, so it also hits the ring. And if you kick it, you can also exile a non-land permanent, so that's really sweet. And then this one I would have never guessed. So Disrupt the Flute, Flash, choose a card name when it enters. Spells with the chosen name cost 3 more, and then activated abilities of those sources can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the first card I would cut. I would probably be playing Double Choke instead of Disrupt the Flute, but that's just because I love Choke so much. I will be playing some number of Thought Seizes, but again, I'm just going to play this list and see how we go. Let's dive in. Before we get started, I want to thank MTGO again for sponsoring this video, as I would also like to thank Daybreak Games for sponsoring me with the online cards. check out MTGO if you're interested in buying cards in Europe. They have a huge selection and you can find their shop on Magic Card Market. Check out the description for a link. This hand's fine, it has Crusader, it has Noble. I'm going to keep a bit low on lands. This is one thing that I noticed on the list. If you look at, let me just pop it open. The list actually had 21 lands, which is on the lower end. If I was playing Black-Green, I usually play 22 or 23. So, yeah, just something to note, I would also be playing the Black-Green Hedge Maze. I can't think of the name right now, but it's the one that actually makes it so you can fetch and then you get an, let's think. So you get the scry. So I'm thinking here, because what I really want to do is I want to have Phyrexian Crusader, right? So I think what I have to do is I'm just going to win if I resolve Crusader. I'm actually not going to play Noble turn 1. What I want to do is I want to play Noble turn 2. And then I can just protect the Noble with Blossoming Defense. That's the idea. Look at this Pendelhaven art. This is so cool, man. Zondis' Lounge, Flooded Strand. Okay. Now, what's really cool is we could just, we could potentially, even if they get rid of Noble, still win with Phyrexian Crusader. Looks like we are playing against a, okay, this is cool. So we are playing against a red-based removal deck. So if we just play the Noble, if we just play Phyrexian Crusader, we win immediately. That's why I wanted to play Black-Green again. So, okay, so let's say nope. We have Nurturing Peatland too. This is sweet, so I am going to play the Ignoble. Really hoping that they don't kill Ignoble, because if they don't, I actually have a Phyrexian Crusader up and protection. So they discard Leyline of the Guild Pact. That's a horrible draw indeed. Hey, let's see what's the follow-up. Blood Crypt tapped. Tapped's a good sign. Scion of Draco. Now that's unfortunate because that's actually something that they can use to block, but it's still okay. Misty Rainforests. I guess we just played a Peatland. Then again, maybe I should play the Misty Rainforest because I want to be able to fetch in their end step. Doesn't matter. I honestly don't think so. Let's just play like this. If they play like main deck Blood Moon, you never know. It's unlikely if I look at their mana base, but I want to play the best way I can. If they played a random Blood Moon, at least I have Phyrexian Crusader. So this is interesting. They really can't do anything. They need to hold back the Scion to block, and if they attack with Territorial Kavu, I can just block it to death with Phyrexian Crusader. So this is nice. Well, I can't block it to death, but it's fine. Oh, look, they actually attack with everything. Okay, cool. So the reason this works is that I have protection from everything, so I can very safely just block, take no damage. It does have trample, so now I have to think. I could might, I have lethal. So if I don't block here, they're gonna deal 7 damage to me. They could, I think I'm actually just going to play the Might, take 1 damage less. I'm going to take the Forests. I just want to not take damage if I don't have to. It can sometimes come down to like 1 extra life. This is the game where if I had been on the play, it would have been a different story. They have another Scion. That was to be expected. They must have had something else that wouldn't do this. So if I have like the Overprotect now, that would be insane. Another Scion, their hand is stacked. Okay, so let's think. Just gonna scale up. What I want to do is I want them to block with everything. Make them be afraid. Looks like they don't take the bait, so I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna draw with Nurturing. And concede. Okay, so had I been on the play, different story. And Overprotect here would have been insanely good. So it's unfortunate they had triple Scions. That's the reason why we lost here. So I guess we want Dismembers. And I also like the Terra Sunder because it can get rid of the only creature that I really care about. So what do I don't care about? I don't think Rot Priest is very good in this matchup. It's not why it's here, so probably Rot Priest is the one that has to go. They don't play as much removal, and I'm going to pretty much keep every single hand that has Phyrexian Crusader. It's an instant win unless they have exactly Scion. Well, they need multiples because if it's just one, it's really okay. You need to keep it back. So So I'm going to keep here. I have Crusader. I do need a land. So again, I don't know about 21 lands. I think it feels... It's a bit on the lower spectrum if you ask me. It'll probably increase the land count here. Because I really want to hit your land drops. And I'm just going to assume that Ignoble is going to die. I'm not going to mulligan a hand that has Phyrexian Crusader. That's just not something that you can do. They do have the boats. Let's see if we find lands. They don't. So this could just be game over. They played a Kavu. I draw another Crusader. Let's yield. They just play a land attack. They discard Pyroclasm. That's funny. Pyroclasm doesn't kill Phyrexian Crusader. They have a Brawler. I'm going to play the land. We are dead. I'm just going to concede. So not much to say about the last game. We had a triple Scion and then game 2 Mana Screw. So let's just move over to the second round. This hand's good, but you can see the land, right? That I need. I'm gonna mulligan. Feels to me like the land count is... This could just be random, but I don't know. This is why I've always been playing 23 lands when I was playing black-green. Okay, this is a keep. What do we cut? We have enough threats, so I probably cut the vines. Okay, they just play Mesa. I don't care if Rot Priest dies. They get Jetmir's Garden. Okay, sure. Ren and 6. This is why you no longer want to play Glistener Elf. Probably gonna kill the Ren and 6. I have double scale up, so... let's play the Nexus. What I could also do is I could... Because I really want to play Plague Stinger. What I could do is I could play Plague Stinger. Just slam in on Ren. Use Mutagenic Growth on the Rot Priest. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just scale up. Let's not try and do anything funny. What is funny here is that if I actually had Glistener Elf, because I also had Mutagenic Growth, I would have been able to survive through Ren. Pyroclasm. They just kill Rot Priest, so that's fine. Can play the Stinger and really want to draw another land. This mana base, dude, it feels... Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that the mana base feels wonky. I think we've established that by now. Looks like we are playing against creativity. Yeah, indeed. So that's game. Technically, it's not game over, but this game's over. What do we bring in? I guess we bring Glistener Elf. Disruptor Flute is fine, I guess. Maybe Terra Sunder. These are all things that I could see myself playing. I don't think I want to... Yeah, what am I going to cut? That's the issue, because I really just want to kill them as soon as possible. Maybe I don't even want Disruptor Flute or Terra Sunder. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try and get him dead. Glistener Elf. So really what's really nice is that you can cut Glistener Elves for overprotects. You just want to kill them as soon as possible, so that's what I'm going to do. Not the best hand, but I'm going to keep, because it does have Crusader. Okay, my opponent mulligans. I'm going to just get Overgrown Tomb. And I'm going to say no. The idea here is that I want to play Rot Priest next turn and be able to Vines it if I have to. They just play a land. See, all these fetch lands, this is why I want to play the green-black hedge maze that I don't remember the name of currently. Because if you have those in the deck, it's basically... It almost feels like a ponder, honestly. I know it's not as powerful, but you get what I'm saying, right? Kind of hope that they kill Rot Priest. I'm actually just gonna let it die. Pyroclasm, sure. So now I just need to draw a pump spell, and we're good. Okay, so now I'm Mana Flood, so it's not looking to be my day in regards of mana. Very important to know is against creativity, keep Vines. It's ridiculous how good it is. They will definitely go for it turn 4. And I can just Vines the creature that they want to target, and it fizzles. It's hilarious. People don't expect it, but it works every single time. Okay, so you have lethal. I guess I should just go for it. They could counter. They could counter stuff. But now I think about it, it's probably even better for me to just... This turn, if I want to play around potential counter magic, I'm just going to attack with Crusader and Nexus. And next turn, I can just deal 7. But then they are tapped out. Because if I just go for it now and they have counter magic, I'm just dead. And they still have 5 cards in hand, right? So they have something going on. Okay, so they make a food token. So possibly they're just going to massively punish us for making this play. Because they can just target the artifact. And of course, Vines doesn't work on that. Okay, they don't do anything. That's a good start. So I'm going to start with using Might on the Crusader. Let's see if they have counter magic. It's like they don't. Okay, I'm going to animate the Nexus. Try to slam in. And they just concede. Okay, that was... So they kept a hand with Pyroclasm. That's it. Unexpected, to say the least. Unexpected. Do have time, so maybe I do want to have that Terra Sunder. Force of Vigor too. I can safely cut Tainted Strike now that I've cut Rot Priests. And I have now room for one thing. Probably going to be one Terra Sunder. I think I want to keep everything else. I want to win as quickly as possible. So that seems okay. I'm on a draw now. I guess I can cut one Blossoming Defense for another Terra Sunder. I don't hate that. Let's try it like this. That's lots of Rot Priests. I'm going to keep... The funny thing is if you have a lot of Rot Priests, you can actually win through potential combo. Like if I have like 3 Rot Priests and they just play Creativity, I'm going to get rid of 1 Rot Priest, but potentially I can still just kill them through this all. Let me guess, they have Pyroclasm in hand. They put Steam Vents in the yard. Sure. Just gonna yield because whatever. Prismatic Ending. That's fine. They take a poison counter. So I'm just gonna play another Rot Priest. Again, mana screw a bit. I wanted to have a colored land here. They have Raucous Theatre and leave the card on top. So I really need to draw a card, a land now, so I can play Noble or Rot Priest and have Vines up. So Fable is okay. No land. Yeah, I can't do nothing. I can't keep this up and keep on doing that. So I need to play Ignoble. And this sucks. I'm just gonna say it as it is. Not drawing a land here is probably gonna make me lose the game. So maybe if they don't have it yet next turn. They discard Besegu and Spell Pierce. That's their graveyard. If we go to untap, then I'm happy. Then I think we have a good shot at the game. Leyline Binding. I'm curious what they're gonna take. They take the Ignoble. I think that's wrong because if I draw a land here, I'm just gonna play the Crusader probably. Because, yeah, I'm not drawing a land now, but statistically, I had the highest chance of drawing a land. I could also just Terra Sunder the Leyline Binding next turn. I don't hate that. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attack here. Now, in their end step, I'm going to exile the Leyline Binding if they haven't tried to go for the combo. And that means if I draw a land, I have the possibility of playing Rot Priest and having double mana up, so I can kill them very quickly. Okay, so they just attack. Let's get rid of this Leyline Binding. I'm curious if they are going to counter this. They do. Okay, that's fine. That really is fine. We just draw land. We good. Okay, what can I say? This sucks. I'm going to just play the Rot Priest and pass. Now, luckily, it doesn't look like my opponent has it yet, so at least that's something. They're going to slam with the Shaman. I don't care about that. I'm not even going to block. They don't do anything else. That's fine. So this is really difficult now because I did not draw a land. So what I want to do is I really want to attack and I want to get these triggers off of the Rot Priest. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to Might of Eldcrosa on the Rot Priest. They'll definitely get 2 poison counters. And if they was in response try to remove the Rot Priest, that's 2 more counters. And if they counter this, that's okay. So that resolves. That means I can attack with this Rot Priest, deal 1 more poison, and do damage. So they're going to block here, but that's okay. They've spent mana. So imagine this game if I had drawn a land at any point. Different story. They play Tarn, sure. They can start hard casting the Archon of Cruelty soon. If not already. I don't remember the mana cost, if I'm being honest, of Archon is like 8, 9. Something like that. No land. I'm going to play the Ignoble. They play Reprieve. Okay. I'm just going to yield it a turn. And if turn they've made another Shaman token. They're probably going to try and go for Beatdown. Now I could double block the original token. But that's really not what I want to be doing. I just want to draw a land. Okay, looks like they did found the creativity. So am I going to be able to do something? Can I still win through this? Because I can animate the Nexus, right? But they have... Yeah, let's concede. So currently not very happy with the list. Quite frustrating, really. Losing 3 out of 4 games out of Mana Screw. Probably the first thing that I'm going to change in the list here, because I'm probably going to make one of my own black-green lists after testing this, is adapting the mana base, for sure. Okay, so currently this is fine. I'm going to play the land pass. They just play Watery Craved tapped. Okay, so I'm going to fetch up Tomb. Say nope. I think I'm just going to play Plague Stinger now. Oh, that's not true that I found Ignoble. I think I'm actually going to play the Ignoble, I guess. What I could also do is I could also play Plague Stinger now. I'm fine if it dies. Turn afterwards, I'm going to play the Nexus and Ignoble. Make him have removal, you know. I think I'm going to do that. Now this, of course, would not be true if I didn't have another threat. Good thing is that if they rely on Bowmasters now, yeah, of course, I have Mutagenic Growth, so that's nice. This is one of the reasons why I still like Mutagenic Growth. I would never play this card if Bowmasters was not around, but this is the only reason why I think it's still relatively okay to play Mutagenic Growth. It has never been a card that I've particularly been fond of, just because I think right now giving a creature +2/+2 in the power creep that Modern has gotten is just so mediocre. I'd rather play a different pump spell. I'm probably going to miss chokes after sideboarding in this matchup. Non-basic lands are islands. That's okay because I have Ignoble, so sure. So this is... I can just race them, honestly. Racing Crusader. It's unfortunate that I didn't get that last time, but I'm not unhappy here currently. If this comes down to a race, I could see myself winning. And what I can do next turn is I could actually just block the Harbinger with Ignoble and then Mutagenic Growth. Because now they currently only have... They have double island and so they have triple island and the swamp now, so that's fine. Now that I think about it, do I even want a Mutagenic Growth? They will probably have counter magic. I think I want to make them use their counter magic in their turn. I think I'm actually just going to do nothing here. I'm going to wait one more turn. Now they Fatal Push. They must have something going on. I'm going to try and save the Stinger. But my suspicion is that they also have counter magic. There we go. So against this deck, easy sideboarding. You bring in chokes first. That I do not have. And then what you have is you have Glistener Elves and Veil of Summer. That's pretty much it. Not a lot of other stuff that I want. Maybe Dismembers, now that we've seen that they play Harbinger. I could see myself doing that. Crusader is not that great because they play blue-black. And the only reason to play Crusader is because it has protection from red and white. So that's not what I'm looking for. And then I think I just want to have protection spells as much as I can. So Tainted Strike is medium, and I also don't particularly like Mutagenic Growths, but they are fine, they're okay. I'm going to cut one scale up, I think, and one and 1 mutagenic growth. I may just, if I lose this one, I may just finish up this video by conceding and playing 2 games of the list that I would personally play. Maybe, yeah, I'm gonna do that. If I lose, if I win this one, I'm gonna continue. Otherwise, I'm just gonna play my own list. I think it's nice that you get to see the 2 versions. So no threats. So that's an easy mulligan. Yeah, that's a keep. This is a good hand. I'm gonna cut probably. So this is gonna get a forest. So I don't need double black anymore because I've cut Crusader. So then I think I'm gonna cut the peat land. I'm gonna say done. I will play this land, and I'm going to only play Rob Priest if I can protect it. They could have Thoughtseize, sure, but I want to keep Rob Priest alive. It's very good in the matchup. I want to draw land, so I'm not going to fetch just yet. Okay. I'm going to play that one too, because I want to get a forest. Oh, by the way, the name of the green-black survey land is Meticulous Archive, and I have been wanting it pretty much every single game at this point. So we'll see if I make some adjustments this video or if I'm going to continue playing this list. Played Rock Priest, which resolves. They fatal push, or at least they try to fatal push the Rock Priest, which is not going to work. Gonna get another forest, save the Rock Priest. And if they try to kill it now next turn, that means that Rock Priest has done 3 damage, which is worth it. It's the same as if you would have just attacked with Elf and you would have played Blossoming Defense. And if it survives, I mean, even better. They have Undercity Sewers. They put Shoot the Sheriff into the graveyard. What's that? Destroy non-outlaw creature, that's fine. Okay, so they have gotten their stuff. I think we're going to play the Plague Stinger here. Make him spend all of their removal spells. They just play a land and pass. Interesting. So it looks to me like this is it. It's interesting that they actually put Shoot the Sheriff into the graveyard because that does kill creatures. So I guess they have more removal in hand. That's fine. I have another threat, and I can decide when I want to try and save Inkmoth next. So unless they have like the Flood Moon right now, we should be good. Murktide, okay. Might have Old Crowser. I'm just gonna chill, just gonna pass. And if turn they get Sewers, put Delta into the yard, and they play a Swamp. Murktide is on blocking duty, that does make sense. I have the Frog. I think this game is almost over, because this will draw so many cards that I don't feel like I have a shot at this game anymore. Now I can win if I just find a protection spell. No. Nope. Okay, let's have one more draw step. Okay, they are just slamming in with everything. Let's fetch up another land. We find Vines, but I'm not gonna get through this Murktide. And they have 5 cards in hand, so this game is over. I'm just gonna concede. I didn't like this list. I can't put it any other way. I really didn't like it. It felt way too inconsistent with the mana, and I would have played different sideboard cards. So, but it's interesting. Let's see what I would do personally if I was going to be playing this list, right? So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be playing the Underground Mortuary. I think this is essential to play this. If you have fetch lands, you should be playing this. But we're going to play 1, I think. Do I want to have 4 Overgrown Tombs? That did feel like a lot, and I do not have a Swamp in here currently. So I think I'm also going to be playing a basic Swamp. Okay, so that's the basic Swamp. So what I've done is I'm going to cut 1 Overgrown Tomb, and I do want to go up to 20... I think if I play the fetch land and I can get Underground Mortuary, I can see what's on top. So I think I'm going to try and play 22 lands. So I'm probably going to cut... I guess the Swamp. I think it's fine for me not to play a Swamp here. I do like Peatland, draws cards, the Mortuary goes in. Gonna cut this Tainted Strike, and then let's play some cards differently that I would personally play in the main board. Okay, so I really like Thoughtseize in black-green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play Thoughtseizes. I usually only play 3. I don't think I'm going to be playing Fatal Pushes right now, because Fatal Push is not what we're going to be doing anymore. I don't think, since the format is so fast, that playing 1 Fatal Push is not going to push it over the edge in this deck, I believe. I'm probably going to cut the Blossoming Defenses for the Thoughtseizes. because I want to win with Crusader. So I'm just going to do this. What I've also been thinking about is maybe I should play Elven Farsight. I like that card. Here you go, I put it on screen. So it's scry 3, reveal the top if it's a creature, draw. So that means I'm really just digging for Phyrexian Crusaders to win me the game, because that's what I usually want to be doing anyway, and I can also find threats if I need them. Is that worth it? I don't know. I'm just gonna try and play this right now because I think that's already an adaptation. I wanted to stay as close as I can to the original list, see what happens. Now I will make some changes to the sideboard. So here I've put the changes that I would make. So I didn't really like the Disruptive Flute, so I'm going to cut those. Those are going to be soft for jokes. What I'm going to try out is cutting the 2 Dismembers, which only kills 1 creature, and play the get rid of the or play the Toxic Deluges instead, because I really like that. You know, with so many small creatures, if you can just wipe the board, I think that's going to be nice. We can do this turn 2 when we have Ignoble, which I think is worth it if you just wipe everything if you have another land. Then 1 Necromentia against combo. I'm going to cut 1 Endurance for it. That could be either way, but I think Necromentia and 1 Endurance, 1 Necromentia is fine. It's flexible. Let's see how we go. I'm gonna aim towards playing 2, maybe. I don't have a lot of hopes for this list, but maybe if I go really hot, I may just play some more. We'll see. Gonna start off on a play. That's nice. All right, so we have Stinger and Crusader. That's nice. So I'm pretty happy with the start. Playing against the Gigantha deck, that could pretty much be everything, but okay, good to know. So what I really like already is me playing the Meticulous Archive. And that's what I mean. A fetch land is just never a dead card anymore. That's why I think if you're playing fetches, you should always try and squeeze in one of those scry lands if you can. Ocelot Pride. Okay, so if we play the Crusader, we probably win. Let's see. I would just want to find the land here. That's not what I want. I already have one. So that's 1 dead draw gone. I will just play Stinger. And there we go. That's the land that we needed. So already paying off. Stinger, let's get rid of this. We know about that. It's never going to resolve anyway. Okay, so now we just need 1 more pump spell, and I think we've got the game covered. And Phyrexian Crusader against this deck really reads, I have protection against everything. They could be playing Mardu, but otherwise. I'm going to play the Crusader, of course. What I usually do is I usually swap Mutagenic Growths. It's a 4-of, so I usually play 2 Groundswells, and I've been trying out Revenge of the Hunted. Check out the card. It's hilarious. It's I've been, ever since I've been trying it out, I've been falling in love with the card. Right, so what's my opponent going to do now? Flage. Sure. 3 mana Lightning Bolt on me. Okay. Honestly, I might just do nothing until I find another pump spell. I probably want to kill him as soon as possible though, right? Okay, so let's play the Rot Priests. That's a good draw. I'm going to scale up. They will take poison counter. They can't block, so I'm going to Mutagenic Growth here. Boop, they get a poison counter. And we win the game. See, I've heard sometimes that people say that they think Venerate Rot Priest is not good in Infect, and you know which people usually say that? People who don't play Infect a lot, because it's honestly, it's great. It's better than Listen Ralph. So what do I want against them? Really not that much. Toxic Deluge is going to be good. Thoughtseize are going to be relatively bad against them. We have room for 1 more card. I probably play 1 Glistener Elf just to bait out some removal spells. 1 Thoughtseize. I just don't want to lose life against this deck. I think I'm going to play 1 Elf. And after just, we've seen in the first game, immediately my changes have been paying off. It's silly how some of these things can just immediately pay off, you know. Playing 2 lands extra is a big deal. I'm just going to keep this hand immediately as well. It's good. Nice that we get to see the Toxic Deluge. Potentially, we'll see how the game develops. It's possible that my opponent's going to play it a bit slow, going to see, or going to not play creatures soon, but it looks like they're going for an aggressive start. They're on the play, so that makes sense. I'm going to play the Fetch, and again, I'm going to be able to get my Surveil land, so always play it. It's always good. What people usually do is, at least what I expect will happen is I'm going to bait out their removal spells, right? Because I don't care about them What's going to happen is they're going to keep some removal spells to kill my threat and then win the game. That's the idea in their head, right? So what I'm going to do is I do want to play the Stinger. They will try to move it at my end step, and they will use their turn to develop the board. That's what usually happens. And then I have the decision between, do I want to play Crusader, or do I want to not do that and play the Deluge to just wipe the board. Now, I drew Scale Up, so that changes things. If I hadn't drawn the Scale Up, I probably would have gone for the Deluge, but now that I did draw the win condition, I can just win on turn 4, so probably going to do that. A land, I don't think I need another land, so again, Mortuary, paying off. I do think I'm going to play the Nexus, because it's scary for them, and that means that I don't have to pay life now. They kill it as expected. I could also now just develop the board. We'll see. I think Crusader is just too good not to play, really. Raptor. Okay. They bolt me, that's fine. Okay, so we drew Scale Up. I'm just going to deploy my Crusader and win the game next turn. Possible they burn me out, but they only have 2 cards in hand. This is often a creature deck, so it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. But there's nothing I could do about that. As I said, I could have also decided to go for Toxic Deluge, but I think at this state of the game, it's better for me to just play Crusader and try and win. Raptor doesn't do anything, so that's good. They play Phage. That's really okay. It's just Lightning Bolts. Attack with everything. Lock this one. Draw the Forest. Perfect pickup, because that makes it so I don't have to pay 1 more life for the Peat Land. Play the Scale Up. Play the Vines. Slam in. And we win the game. Nice. So, after some minor changes, immediately getting rewarded. Especially this Mortuary, you should always play it. It's just too good not to play. And play enough lands. See the way this game is developing, right? I had a lot of lands, and I needed them, because you usually wanted to go for boom, 1 kill. So you need your mana to make it work. How many times did I died previous games with me just having a lot of spells in hand, but I couldn't cast them, right? Especially with the Mortuary, you can see what you had on top, get rid of the lands if it's too much. So, yeah, much better. Let's go to the next game. On the play. Okay, so this is a good hand as Crusader. I'm playing as a Gigantha deck again. Now, I think this is lacking 1 land to make this work. Now, I do have the Mortuary, so that's the thing. But I have to draw 2 lands in a row. So the question is, I'm going to see basically 2 cards instead of 1 with the Mortuary. Is that going to be good enough? I think I want a mulligan here. The thing is, I have Crusader. It's just so good. I hate mulliganing hands when you have Crusader. If I was on the draw, this was a keep. On the play, though, since I've already won game 1, let's pretend like I'm playing a tournament. I would mulligan here. Okay, getting immediately rewarded. So I'm going to keep this one. What do I want to cut? Probably the Thoughtseize. Play the land and pass. God of Souls. Okay, so if we find the land, we just win. That's how it goes with Crusader. This is why we're playing the deck, so... anything that's not a land, I get rid of. Because I'm just assuming that this Plague Stinger will die. Now we get 2 fresh draws. And who knows, maybe our opponent doesn't have removal and I can just kill them with Stinger. It's possible, it happens. Rarely, but it does happen. Thoughtseize. I'm not going to bother with Thoughtseize. I'm just going to play the Stinger. And this is all okay. I don't care what happens as long as I draw my land. They have removal for the souls. So if I don't draw a land, I'm going to play the Thoughtseize next turn. Okay, no land. Unlucky. Let's Thoughtseize. So what do I want them to not play? Probably the Blood Moon. Because that nullifies the game plan. The One Ring is honestly fine. I don't care. Could also take a Ajani. Then they can't do anything next turn. But if they play the Blood Moon, it's game over. So I have to take that. And yield. So they put Flage into the yard. They played an Ajani. And again, as long as we just play Crusader next turn, we still win. Even if they played One Ring. I'm just going to wait a turn and kill them then. We are seeing exactly why I think I wanted to go back to Black Green. This is the best deck in the format. And This is just laughably bad against Phyrexian Crusader. Now this is active, so we do need to have Crusader next turn or we lose. Okay, we drew the land. So I'm gonna get a forest, and normally I'm gonna go to exactly 1. So if they draw land, I'm dead. Because that means they get protection for 1 turn with the 1 ring. So imagine if I had drawn the land last turn, we would have won now. So it depends on whether or not they draw the land and they're able to play the 1 ring. If they have threats, which is something that they usually have, we're good. Unless, if they have like bold, same thing, but... Interesting. So they want me to block. So what's going to happen is if I actually kill a cat here, what's going to happen then? They don't have a red permanent right now, but I'm going to... So it doesn't really matter if I block because I'm going to go either to 1 or to 3, which is always in lightning bolt range. So I think I'm just not going to block. So Ajani doesn't flip, and I think that's what they're aiming towards. See, this is what I mean. It wouldn't have mattered if I would have blocked or not. They had Flage, so that's a boat to the face. Yep, land came 1 turn too late. Then I've seen Blood Moon. I'm actually gonna keep the Thoughtseize. Yeah, Elf wasn't great. I'm just gonna submit like this. Feels to me like this is another reason why I wanted to play the Elven Farsight. You just need Crusader to win the game. So this hand, it doesn't have Crusader, it doesn't have a fast clock, so I'm gonna mulligan. This is fine. I'm gonna keep. It has Toxic Deluge, which is really good against them. What are we gonna get rid of? Probably the Ignoble, maybe Thoughtseize, honestly. I think that's better. So I will just play the Ignoble. Draw Phyrexian Crusader. That would be nice. No, but it's fine. So Igmoth Nexus. I'm going to play the Stinger here. They will probably just... If they had a removal spell, they would have used it on Ignoble, I think. So it probably means that they don't have any. And even if they kill Stinger here, I'm still fine. Because I have Inkmoth Nexus, so... They put a mountain in the yard. Sure. Play Ocelot Pride. Okay. And they have Static Prison. That's okay too. They take the Ignoble. I don't think that's correct. I'm going to draw Scale Up and kill them. Okay. Not Scale Up and kill them, but it's fine. Play the Mind here. Do I want to attack with Nexus? Probably not. I want to keep up the Misty, in case I need to fetch up a forest if they have Blood Moon. If they don't, I can then fetch up the Meticulous Archive. Static Prison. So now they will get rid of the Plague Stinger. But this is okay for me, because now I have time to just wait, let them deploy their board, and then Toxic Deluge everything. So now I'm going to get the Archive. It's really simple. I need to find the land now, so if I find the land, they are dead. Probably played this incorrectly. Maybe I should have Vines, but that's not true, because then I would not have been able to fetch up a forest if they had Blood Moon, so I do think this is correct. Anyway, this Meticulous Archive could possibly win me the game again. I just need to see if there's a land on top. Which there is not, but it's also a win condition. So again, Meticulous Archive wins us the game. Okay, so I scale up. I'm going to slam in. They do not have flying, so we win. Any changes? I don't think so. I'm pretty happy. Thoughtseize wasn't great, especially not on the draw. On the play, better, but on the draw, I'd probably want to have maybe Terra Sunder, so I can end of turn. Nah, let's play this off. Never actually cast the Overprotect, which is unfortunate, but I hope you guys see how much more powerful this list is than the previous one. Just by making some minor changes, big difference. Okay, we have the Crusader, so nice. I'm gonna keep. And I have a lot of spells that should be able to get me to the late game, so I'm happy. There. So something went. This is interesting. This is funny. Look at the game log. So something went wrong here. My opponent chose to not play first, then choose to play first. So something went wrong there. And I actually skipped my draw step, apparently, but they started. So this is funny. This has never happened before. Okay. Interesting to say the least. Okay, so they get a Rot Priest. That's fine. There we have our Phyrexian Crusader. So I'm afraid of them having Blood Moon now. But if they do have it, I'm going to make him have a difficult decision because I expect Plague Stinger to die, right? So I'm just going to play it like this. If they do have Blood Moon, that means I still have a Forest, which is fine. And if they use removal spells on Plague Stinger, what I want them to do, it's okay for me because I have Crusader and that's the one that's going to win me the game. So I think it's better for me to not play the Nexus because that just, if they play Blood Moon, then it's game over. Raptor, okay. They bolt the Stinger that they found with the Raptor. They have some souls. So this game is going to be over quickly. I need to find a pump spell. And then we probably win. If not, we lose. It's that easy. And you know what's going to make me lose the game? Me not drawing the card first, the first turn. I guarantee it. I mean, it's definitely possible. I am going to watch the top card of the deck if we get to untap. They played a One Ring, okay. As I say, it's not that big of a deal. It just buys them one turn. And now I can block this flyer next turn with Inkmoth Nexus, so I'm really okay with this. I just think that the One Ring is being played in this deck and it's very often wrong. Toxic Deluge. I have to pay life, so I can't use it anymore. This is a card that you don't want to see late. So I'm going to play... I could also play the Mortuary, but then next turn what's going to happen is they're going to slam in and they will find some bolt effect with this, so I have to play the Nexus, I think. I could play Deluge and lose 1 life, but then I can't block with the Nexus, so I'm not gonna. I've been thinking about maybe playing the One Ring in this deck, because actually Golgari is a mid-range deck, so we can actually play it. I often don't think that One Ring is correct to be playing in these Boros kind of decks. Okay, so keep in mind, we actually had 1 card extra, so I'm going to draw 2 cards next turn. Okay, so they put counters on there. I'm going to block 1 of them, so that I'm out of Lightning Bolt range. And I just need to draw a pump spell and kill them. Play the Raptor. Okay, let's see what they get. They get Ocelot Pride, don't care. So, I know I said this jokingly, but it is really true. I should have had an extra card in my hand. So if I don't draw a pump spell here, we have to look at the top of our deck. And if that's a pump spell, we would have had it in our hand and we would have won if it is a pump spell. So Crusader. Okay, so let's just Mortuary, see if that's a pump spell on top. Yeah, so we would have won. Yeah, important to know. It's really unfortunate that we just didn't get to draw because of an error in Magic Online. But it shows you that we played against White Red Energy twice and we won twice. So it's this deck, dude. I think this might just be a contester for stealing tournaments, expecting to be playing against these energy decks all day long. That's something that I'm expecting to be happening a lot. And look at this board. I just don't care. I'm gonna attack with Phyrexian Crusader and win that way. So. Yeah, it's really nice that we get to do this. I could Toxic Deluge and just wipe everything, but yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna concede. I lost because of Magic Online, unfortunately, having a bug. Okay, so starting off with a 0-3 with the previous list, making my list, and then going 2-0. Excellent. Very happy. And I can only say that I'm going to be brewing heavily forward with this because I do think there's something here. Black-green is really nice, based purely on the power level of Phyrexian Crusader. But I may try some Elven Farsights in here because it's just very obvious that that's what you want to be doing. If you want to be winning a tournament, you need Crusader. Okay, as always, if you have questions, respond to the video and I will answer them. And thanks for watching. See you soon for a next video. Bye!